So, Mr. President, I was thinking, what if naging masyadong emosyonal yung eleksyon ng huli? And one-third of members of Congress ay naging anti-administration at ang kinahaharap natin ngayon ay isang impeachment labang kay President Marcos at pag siya'y na-impeach, magiging presidente si Vice President Sara. Sabi po nung iba, imposible na daw mag-impeach ngayon dahil sa desisyon. I see the decision before you. I approached you last week. You've been studying it. I see your radio program. Mukhang 10 beses mo na nabasa yung desisyon at apparently, Mr. Senator, you also listen to criticism.
Hindi ko po alam kung bakit mahirap po sa kanila, Mr. President. Ang importante lang po, ilagay lang po sa tamang proseso. Napakasimple po kasi nung kanilang mga tuntunin, iniisip ko, sundin lang yung mga tuntunin. Ang problema po, isa man sa tuntunin, wala pong sinunod. Kaya po humirap para sa kanila.
I am 101% sure that on February 6, 2026, an impeachment case will be filed against the Vice President. Maybe against other impeachable officers too. So I think it is very important that mahimay natin yung desisyon, yung sentimento ng institusyon na to, mailabas hindi lang sa social media at sa traditional media ang mga puntong nagsasaliwa, meaning pong parang hindi nag-uusap . So at least here we disagree, but whether we listen to the minority leader or to Senator Marcoleta, we agree to listen to each other and to examine each other's points. So I just like a few minutes on some very important matters. Let me start by the accusation that because of this decision, masyado nang mahirap at wala nang mai-impeach. So may I ask Senator Marcoleta if he would give me the honor of asking him a few questions and allowing me to interpolate on 2 or 3 topics. The first one is whether or not naging imposible na mag-impeach under this decision.
The gentleman may proceed if Senator Marcoleta will so allow it.
Yes, Mr. President.
Mr. President, sabi po nung iba, imposible na daw mag-impeach ngayon dahil sa desisyon. I see the decision before you. I approached you last week. You've been studying it. I see your radio program. Mukhang 10 beses mo na nabasa yung desisyon at apparently, Mr. Senator, you also listen to criticism. So kung ano rin yung sinasabi ng iba, pinapakinggan mo rin. In your view, may I take note first, Mr. President, that I am glad that the Senator made a distinction na he is for the rights of everyone. He was adopted by PDP and ran with a particular party, but he is not a member of the Duterte bloc. Am I correct there?
Technically speaking, Mr. President, I am not a member of the PDP, but I admit that I was adopted and I ran in unity with some of the parties of the PDP candidates at the time.
The point I'm going at is like, I was a cabinet member in the Duterte administration, but I have not talked to the Vice President. I ran as an independent in 2022, so I speak now as a senator and not as a partisan. I assume the same, Your Honor.
Yes,
that
Mr. President.
You're giving your own personal opinion as Senator Marcoleta, not as a partisan. Of course, I assume that for everyone here, no, regardless of our position. So, Mr. Senator, sa iyong paghimay ng desisyon, sa tingin mo ba imposible na ngayon mag-impeach ng isang impeachable officer?
Hindi po, Mr. President.
So naging napakahirap ba mag-impeach ng isang officer?
Hindi ko po alam kung bakit mahirap po sa kanila, Mr. President. Ang importante lang po, ilagay lang po sa tamang proseso. Napakasimple po kasi nung kanilang mga tuntunin, iniisip ko, sundin lang yung mga tuntunin. Ang problema po, isa man sa tuntunin, wala pong sinunod. Kaya po humirap para sa kanila.
So, Mr. President, I'm glad you mentioned tamang proseso. I think the way the Supreme Court said it in page 95 of the decision, there is a right way to do the right thing at the right time. The problem, Mr. President, is sinasabi po nung iba, may decision na sa former decisions, meron ng definition ng initiation, and many of us here were not mere spectators there. I mean, Senator Soto, I think, was in the impeachment court, di ba, of Senator Estrada, Senator Laurentu. Senator Kiko was still on the, we were together kay Senator Corona. Senator Cheese and I and Senator Miggs were in the House during the prayer 1/3 to the Senate articles of impeachment, di ba? So hindi po tayo stranger sa mga pangyayaring ito. Ang punto ko, Mr. President, Senator Marcoleta, kung hindi nagsabi ang Supreme Court ng specific na dapat sundin, pwede kong ma-interpret na baka naman masyadong mahirap. Baka naman kahit anong i-file kung gustong protektahan, hindi na siya ma-impeach. Paano na yung accountability? But is it true, Mr. President, that on page 93 of the decision, the Supreme Court actually narrated what has to be done for a valid impeachment complaint?
Yes, Mr. President.
Allow me to read. 1, the draft article of impeachment or resolution should be accompanied by evidence when made available to members of the House, especially those who are considering its endorsement. 2, the evidence should be sufficient to prove the charges in the articles of impeachment. 3, the draft articles of impeachment and their accompanying evidence should be made available to all members of the House of Representatives, not only to those who are being considered to endorse. Impeachment is an act of the entire House, which requires a qualified minority of only 1/3 of its members to be transmitted to the Senate. However, the House of Representatives is a deliberative assembly where each member should be allowed to represent the views of their constituents. Let me stop there first. Mr. President, may problema ba yung number 1 na yung articles of impeachment kailangan may ebidensya?
Wala pong problema doon, Mr. President.
Hindi ba ho baliktad? Kung walang ebidensya, may problema.
Tama po.
Kasi kung walang ebidensya, ano yon? Tapon mo sa Senate, bahala na si Batman. So, precisely tama ang Supreme Court that even if 1/3 endorse or file, dapat may ebidensya na. Let me go to the second part. The evidence should be sufficient to prove the charges in the article of impeachment. Mr. President, tama po ba na iba po yung sufficiency at iba din po yung quality or yung burden of proof? Di ba?
Opo.
So halimbawa po, sa piskalya, hindi po kailangan sa piskalya beyond reasonable doubt.
Probable.
Kailangan lang that there is probable cause that a crime was committed and there is probable cause that the accused committed that crime.
Yes, Mr. President.
So in the same manner, hindi sinasabi dito sa 2 na kailangan mo ipresenta sa mga congressman lahat ng testimony, lahat ng ebidensya. Ang kailangan lang, if you assume the evidence to be true, it will be enough to convict.
Tama po.
Because if not, then sayang lang ang oras natin sa Senate. Kung may articles of impeachment ka, walang ebidensya or may ebidensya pero yung ebidensya is not sufficient to prove the charges, either the Senate will be a kangaroo court and convict without evidence or we will be wasting our time. So wala rin problema sa number 2, Mr. President.
Wala po, okay. Mr. President.
Number 3, ang sinasabi lang ng number 3, kahit na pumirma yung 1/3, kailangan ipakita pa rin sa lahat ng Kongreso. Isa po sa hinanakit po yun nung bata ako dahil ako po'y payat nun at hindi katangkaran. Parati akong saling pusa sa basketball, baseball, volleyball, dahil hindi po ako ganong kagaling sa sports. Sa Congress ba, hindi ba tamang rule to? Na kahit wala ka sa majority, kahit wala ka sa qualified minority, kapag ka may impeachment, merely being elected as a representative of the district or of the party list, dapat ipakita man lang sa iyo yung articles of impeachment at saka yung ebidensya.
Tama po kayo. Wala man lang po akong nakita sapagkat ako po hindi isinali sa pakakitaan ng...
So naiintindihan niyo po kung paano maging saling
Hindi ko
pusa.
nga po alam na meron na po pala. Hindi man lang kami binigyan eh. Kaya nung tinanong ko po yung aking mga kasama, kayo pala bigyan nyo nga ako ng kopya para mabasa ko. Wala rin kami. Paano nyo pinirmahan? O hindi naman namin binasa nung pinirmahan na. Basta meron lang binigay ng mga signature pages. Doon lang kami pumirma. So hindi nyo nabasa? Hindi.
God and the world has a way of correcting itself because now I have the privilege of serving the people here, not as a salimpusa, and definitely, Your Honor, as chairman of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, is not a salimpusa here in the Senate. In fact, you are an esteemed neophyte with a very powerful committee. So, again, number 3 is just a simple walang salimpusa rule, which is very good. Number 4, respondent have the opportunity to be heard on the draft articles of impeachment. Hindi ko na po babasahin dahil mahaba, pero basically ang sabi ng Supreme Court dito, hindi naman kailangan pumunta doon ang Vice President. Pwedeng through pleadings. Meron po bang masama dito, Mr. President, na kapag may na-impeach, bigyan man lang siya ng kopya at pasagutin muna siya sa House bago siya pasagutin sa Senate? May masama po ba dito?
Wala pong masama, Mr. President. Ang totoo nga po, sinasabi nga na dapat i-repair po lahat ng impeachment complaints kahit na yung pinirmahan ng 1/3 o higit pa, i-repair sa Committee on Justice. Yun po ang paraan siguro para magkaroon man lang ng pagkakataon ng Vice President, kahit na by pleadings lang, makasagot siya.
Yeah.
Pero hindi nga po ibinigay.
Before I go to number 5, just because I like your answer, Mr. President, one thing that guides me, no? So I've in coming to my decision with this, I follow 2 books. One, the Bible, which is of course a covenant between God and people, tayo, and the Constitution, which is a covenant among the Filipino people and the government, no? Alam mo, both books talk about due process. Ang Panginoon, nung kinain ni Adam at Eve yung prohibited fruit, nagtanong muna siya, ba't kayo nagtatago? Hindi nag-accuse, nagtanong muna, pero alam na ng Diyos. So ang ibig lang sabihin ng due process, sabi ng desisyon ng Supreme Court, magtanong ka muna bago ka humusga. So Mr. President, I was thinking, what if naging masyadong emotional yung eleksyon ng huli? And one-third of members of Congress ay naging anti-administration at ang kinahaharap natin ngayon ay isang impeachment labang kay President Marcos at pag siya'y na-impeach, magiging presidente si Vice President Sara. I wonder if all of us in this room and out of this room will still have the same paninindigan. I hope I will. I'm not judging. I am just saying, Mr. President, what helps me is those 2 books, but also to put myself in the opposite side, to put myself in that position. What if, so I'm looking, I see my good friend, former Senate President Zubiri, shaking his head. So natanaw ko tuloy si Senator Kiko. What if Vice President Lenny and Senator Kiko won in 2022? And what if ang ini-impeach ngayon ay si Senator Kiko? I hope yung decision ko to support this decision would be the same.
Tama po, dapat walang pagkakaiba.
Wala saan pagkakaiba. So number 5, a reasonable period of time determined on the basis of complexity of charges must be given to all members of Congress. Kasi lumalabas po, yes, tama si Senator Soto, ibang mode yung 1/3. Pero lumalabas po mismo sa pleadings, mismo sa sinabi ng House of Representatives, wala pang 3 oras. Yung
Wala
ibinigay sa mahigit 200 na pumirma, samantalang ang complaint is a few hundred pages. Tama po ba?
Mahaba pong pahina lahat ang sinabi sa akin, Mr. President, at hindi po nila na kayang basahin sapagkat wala nga silang kopya. Humihingi po sila ng kopya bago pumirma, ngunit wala pong ibinigay. Okay. Yun po yung sinabi sa akin ng mga ilan sa aking mga kasamahan doon.
Yung number 6 po, Mr. President, madali kasi kailangan yung impeachable act is an act done while they were in their present office. So wala naman pong problema dyan. Meaning, kung may nagawa si Senator Cruz nung konsyal pa siya, pero ngayon Vice President na siya, hindi naman siya pwedeng impeach base sa ginawa niya nung konsyal siya.
Tama po.
So madali po yon. Number 7, at the very least to accord the opportunity to be heard under the requirement of due process in the procedure under Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 4, after the draft articles of impeachment and required proof arrived at. Letter A, the House of Representatives should provide a copy of the draft articles and its accompanying evidence to the respondent and give her an opportunity to respond within a reasonable period. May problema po ba dito?
Wala po.
Kapag ka ganito kabigat, natatanggalin mo ang isang impeachable officers, tama po ba yung surprise?
Hindi po.
Parang, eto yung wag mo nang tignan, 1/3 naman kami, sa Senado ka na, sa Senado ka na mag-reply. Letter B simply states that all members, again, it's the walang saling pusa. So, Mr. President, in other words, it is not true that it is now too difficult. Sundin lang yung page 93, 94, whether it's February 6 for the Vice President or if anyone wants to file an impeachment against anyone, magagawa to at any time.
Tama po, Mr. President.
Let me reverse my question, Mr. President. Dapat ba maging madali mag-impeach ng isang officer? I'm asking, of course, your opinion that I value, Mr. President.
Depende po sa ini-impeach na opisyal. Pero kinakailangan po hindi dapat magmadali. Kaya dalawa po kasing bagay yun eh. Kailangan po siyang mapagbigyan ng due process niya at gaano man po karami yung ebidensyang inaharap sa kanya. Bigyan natin siya ng pagkakataong makasagot. So maaari pong mahirapan ng konti, tumagal ng konti. Ngunit kailangan po natin ibigay lahat ng proseso sa ini-impeach at sa mga nag-i-impeach.
I value your answer on due process, Mr. President, and that's my second point. But if you would just also accept, or maybe I can put on record, I'm of the personal view, hindi dapat maging madali mag-impeach ng isang impeachable officer. Bakit po? Unang-una, iilan lang po sila sa ating bansa. Ombudsman, member of constitutional commissions, President, Vice President, Supreme Court. Hindi dapat madali dahil it's an extraordinary remedy in extraordinary circumstance not to penalize them, but para protektahan ng ating bansa at para nga po alisin sila sa equation if they will damage our country. So, the difference po with this impeachment sa iba, at least the impeachment of President Estrada, President Arroyo, and again, may I be sensitive especially to my friends here who are of that administration, was with us, against us, or like Senator Jinggoy and Senator JV. Yung feeling kasi doon is that if there was another day na hindi na-impeach, magagamit yung opisina na yon. Kasi presidente pinag-uusapan. Ganon din sa Chief Justice, na habang nandun ka, ma-influensyan mo yung korte. Pero pag pinag-uusapan mo Vice President ngayon, wala naman siyang hawak na departamento, wala siyang hawak na agency, wala namang police, militar, NBI, Coast Guard, whatever under sa kanya. Yes, we should hold her accountable kung may ginawang mali. Dapat i-impeach pag may ginawang mali. Pero it's not true that today and tomorrow matters that much. Because wala naman siyang opisina na magagamit not only to cover her tracks or to damage the country. Di ba? In fact, I doubt kung walang perpetual disqualification yan, baka iba ang suma natin ngayon. But I don't want to go to the political aspect. The point I want to make, Mr. President, is para tayong nag-Goldilocks, pag gusto natin yung i-impeach natin, so nung time na yon na gustong impeach si President Erap, padaliin natin. At kung hindi, walk out tayo. Kung kakampi mo si GMA, pahirapan natin. Kung kakampi mo si Duterte, pahirapan natin. Di ba? So, in that point, I see why the Supreme Court, they made a statement nag-statement sila about history. Sabi ng Supreme Court, ito po, sa page 94, we understand our history. We have learned that in the past, momentary desires to do what is convenient and concede means to ends have inadvertently created precedents that weaken the succor of law for those who dissent, or those that are society's margins, or those who have fallen out of grace from the powers that be. We have learned that the clash of political interests in the past, often disguised by noble intentions, have obscured the need to address the real problems of corruption, inequality, poverty, and disempowerment faced by our people. Kung ito lang po ang sinabi nila, Mr. President, sasabihin kong hindi ba namumulitika yung korte? But sinabi nila to after page 93 na iniisa-isa nila paano mo i-impeach eh. So parang ang tinuruan na ang Senado at saka House, gusto niyo impeach ang Vice President o sino man, sundin niyo lang to. Wala na kayong problema. So I think in that sense, Mr. President, it's a balanced decision. Ang question, Mr. President, yung tanong ni Senate Minority Leader, former Senate President Soto, operative fact, Mr. President. Mr. President, may I venture to answer the question of Senator Soto nung tinanong niya, ano to? Diba? Ano to yung nag-robe, etc. Nasagot na po kasi ni Sara Geronimo yon. Nung sinabi niya kay Coco Martin, there was never an us. There was never an us. Sinabi kasi ng Supreme Court na void ab initio to. But I have a reason, Mr. Minority Leader, former Senate President, and Senator Ping, why I bring this up. Because I agree with Senator Ping na ano ang i-dismiss natin. Because ang sinasabi ng Supreme Court, and that goes to my last point, for your consideration, Senator Marcoleta, sabi ng Supreme Court, there was never an us, ibig sabihin, void ab initio. So wala tayong i-dismiss. So theoretically, if we do not do anything today, we are following the Supreme Court decision. Except, yeah, that's why I'm agreeing with you. So agree with me when I'm agreeing with you, Mr. Senate President and Senator Ping. However, human nature is that if we do not do anything, people will say it's pending. And we do have the 1 year one filing bar. So the Constitution did not intend that every single day of your life as ombudsman, as vice president, president, may nakatutok sa yung impeachment. So it is also fair to the vice president that we dispose of this. The question now is, if it is void ab initio, why did the Supreme Court not apply the doctrine of operative fact? In my research, 2 reasons. One, hindi po bringing up ng House of Representatives ito. Bringing up po to ng House of Representatives later on in the MR. Number 2, there is a rule that kapag ka magkakaroon ng injustice or may ma-oppress, hindi pwede yung operative fact. So since my finding, please correct me, Senator Marcoleta, if I'm wrong. Since my finding po ang Supreme Court na sinircumvent yung 1 year bar, hindi ka ngayon pwede mag-operative fact kasi para mo ni-reward ngayon yung circumvention. Am I correct sa
Yes, Mr. President, because the doctrine of operative fact is based on equity and fairness. Wala pong equity talaga eh. Hindi po sinunod ang mga tuntunin. So, sa umpisa pa lang, nagpalusot na, kaya hindi po pwedeng gamitin yung operative fact.
I see former Secretary Jeremiah Bellica in the crowd. Sa ease of doing business na si Majority Leader and si Senator Ping, I think, were the sponsors, di ba, or the authors of the law. I don't know kung, ang alam ko, covered ang Congress dun eh. So kapag ka 10 days, at kasi ministerial yung sabi ng Supreme Court eh. Kapag ka nag-file ka ng impeachment, yung 10-day, 3-day, ministerial yon. So even if you do not consider it archived, if you apply the ease of doing business law that Secretary Jeremiah Bellica used to very much push in government, you would come to the same conclusion eh. My point is, Mr. President, we'll never come out with a perfect decision. People will disagree. That's why I agree with the statement of the IBP na ang kailangan sa Constitution ay hindi agreement, kung hindi adherence. The North and South of the United States did not agree on slavery. That's why they fought a civil war. Because they had to see who will adhere to this Constitution, who will treat this piece of paper as a living soul and a covenant of this country rather than just a piece of paper. And grabe po ang devastation sa United States. Buti po tayo nagdidebate lang. Buti po tayo yung dugo ng ating mga bayani ay minsan lang po inalay at ngayon nagdidebate na lang tayo sa desisyon na to. Pero kung hindi natin susundin ang Supreme Court decision and we will court a constitutional crisis, we will tear the Constitution apart. Because, Mr. President, this is going to second to the last question. May option ba tayo not to follow the Supreme Court?
Wala po, Mr. President.
So it's for academic discussion and for criticism, for enlightenment, and trying to influence the court na masama decision nyo. In accordance, I respect the opinions for those who think na masama yung decision. But in actuality, as an institution, we have to follow, hindi po ba?
Tama po, Mr. President.
Is the gentleman a member of the Commission on Appointments?
Wala pa po yatang ini-elect.
Hindi, kasi may decision ang Supreme Court kung paano hati-hatiin yung membership ng CA. Kung hindi rin natin susundin yung decision ng Supreme Court sa impeachment, wag na rin natin sundin sa CA. What about sa sweldo ng mga senador? Diba, sabi sa konstitusyon, sa mga batas, hindi tayo pwede magpasa ng batas na makikinabang tayo.
Tama po yun.
So kung disagree tayo, wag na rin natin sundin dahil mas mataas na sweldo yun.
Kailangan po kasi palagi nating isasaalang-alang kung anong sinasabi ng desisyon ng Korte Suprema at hindi yung sarili po nating nilalayon o sarili nating interes.
Correct po ba? Especially when we disagree. Madali kasi magsang-ayon pag we agree eh.
Tama po.
Maraming magsasabing nag-uusap tayo through microphone but we agree on many things. But mas mahirap when we disagree.
Tama
so,
po.
Mr. President, so since we disagree slightly on dismiss, would the movant, the distinguished senator, consider na ma-amend yung motion that the Senate obey or follow or anong tamang salita na acceptable sa minority, the Supreme Court decision? Because if the motion is to obey the Supreme Court, so if the Supreme Court reconsiders, the motion still carries, then we will follow. If they don't, we will still follow. And right now, sabi naman nila, it is immediately executory. So as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist. But I agree with the gentleman, there's some action that is wanting eh. Kung hindi, it's there floating in the air. Anyway, I leave that as a question. There might be some people who want to interpolate, Mr. President, but may I offer that solution? We are allowed to amend, to propose an amendment to any motion if the movant agrees.
I am amenable to an amendment, Mr. President, like moving it to send it to the archives. Like we will have the same result, if that is the case. And I will be pleasing Senator Soto if I do that.
What is the pleasure of the Honorable Soto, the distinguished Minority Floor Leader?
Thank you, Mr. President. It grieves my heart to disagree. I think I'd rather call for the previous question, a motion to table. It has the same effect, and you can bring it up anytime. But we did not say that we did not follow the Supreme Court decision. It will not say that we archived as the interpretation of the Supreme Court is kung ano yung word ng archive. Iba yung archive nila eh. Hindi pa nga adjourn, archive na sa kanila eh. Hindi ba? Hindi pa tapos yung session eh. Hindi naman ganun ang archive sa atin. Sa kanila ganun. Iba yung rules ng Congress eh. Iba yung kaysa sa rules nila eh. So, hopefully, baka pwedeng we can find a middle ground between the proposal of Senator Alan Cayetano and my motion to table, which has a higher precedence than the motion to dismiss.
But Mr. President, that is not...
President.
Before the chair recognizes any member, the parliamentary status is that a motion was made by the Honorable Marcoleta, which he is willing to amend, and a higher order of precedence motion was made by the Honorable Minority Floor Leader. Both are pending, and to afford time for both the Minority Leader and the original movant to perhaps consider and find a compromise as agreed upon earlier, can we proceed with the interpellations and interjections, manifestations, if you will,
Yes,
of the
yes.
other members who had manifested to so interject and make known their position through a manifestation or interpellation?
Yes, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Therefore, I withdraw the call for the previous question, and then allow that to proceed. But then again, just a point of information for for our colleagues. The Supreme Court has just received a motion for a TRO for the Senate not to take up this particular case. It was filed yesterday by the former Associate Senior Justice Tony Carpio, also Ombudsman Conchita Carpo Morales, Commissioner Heidi Mendoza, religious leaders, former military and public servants, Ms. Sheila Magno, students and the youth and the academe. They have filed a TRO with the Supreme Court, and we are awaiting something to that effect. It might come out today, and then we are, again, inuunahan natin. So hopefully, yes, we can proceed, Mr. President.
Thank you, Minority Floor Leader. Your manifestation is duly noted. Senator Cayetano,
Sir President, let me agree
wind
with...
up.
let me just agree with both you and the Minority Leader. And of course, thank Senator Marcoleta for his openness. Ang intention ko lang naman po in proposing an amendment, wala pa yung actual words, no? But, Mr. President, kasi kung pwede, pag bumoto tayo, dahil mabigat po yung pagbobotohan natin at most of us have dug in already sa legal opinion natin sa boto natin. So kung mali ang framing kung ano pagbobotohan, mahirapan din tayo lahat. So meaning I don't mind if I vote for or against the proposition, at least malinaw kung anong pagbobotohan ko. So like I would vote to follow the Supreme Court decision. I'm thinking whether I'll vote to dismiss because the Supreme Court said it did not exist, void ab initio. But I don't want to vote against it because if I vote against it, it is live. And precisely the Supreme Court said immediately executory. No? So let me yield the floor para dun makapagtanong yung iba. But I'm hoping some of us can come up with language that will be acceptable. We might not have a unanimous vote, but at least klaro kung anong pinagbobotohan natin. Thank you very much, Senator Marcoleta.
Mr. President, just a point of information.
Senator Pia Cayetano is recognized for her point of information.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I'm happy to be corrected. We have on the floor, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 previous majority floor leaders. Senator Alan was a majority floor leader. The minority floor leader was Senator Soto was a majority floor leader. Senator Kiko was a majority floor leader. Senator Subiri, former Senate President, was also a majority floor leader. I hope I didn't forget anyone. Lauren was a majority floor leader. So on that note, I just want, so again, I'm happy to be corrected, but the rules, to my knowledge, do not limit us to a particular kind of motion. Rule 31, the title is Precedence of Motions, so it lists the motions that take precedence. Rule 32 is the privilege motion. It doesn't mean that we cannot have a different motion. So just put that on the table so that those who want to be creative can continue this discussion later on when we get to that point that we are deciding if we will rephrase, if we choose to look for a more appropriate wording. But I'd like to include this in everyone's for everyone's consideration, that there doesn't seem to be a limitation on what kind of motion we can present to the body. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Cayetano. Mr. President, at this juncture, may I move that we recognize the distinguished gentleman from Davao, Senator Bato de la Rosa.
Senator De La Rosa is recognized. What is your pleasure, sir?
Thank you, Mr. President. I just would like to make a clarification, Mr. President, that it is very clear to me during our caucus, we have agreed that today, on this date, we are going to tackle this Supreme Court ruling, and we have to debate on this, and we have to decide on this today. It was not part of the agreement that whenever the House of Representatives file a motion for reconsideration, ay ma-install yung ating plano to decide today. So, bakit nagbago yung usapan, Mr. President? I'm just asking.
Your Honor, the Senate is a collegial body and decides everything by dividing the House. The current parliamentary status is that we have two motions that have not yet been acted upon. One has precedence over the other. Pinahintulutan ng dalawang movement na magpatuloy muna yung pagdedebate. So darating po tayo sa punto, matapos ang debate, na pagbobotohan natin yung dalawang motion po na yan. Ayon sa precedence ng rules natin. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. President, just very quickly.
Mr. President,
Just very quickly.
Is this already your...
Just an interjection on the point raised by Senator De La Rosa.
Mr.
Majority
President, if I may appeal, Mr. President, to distinguished gentleman from Pampanga, Mr. President, because next to interpolate is the distinguished lady from Iloilo, Mr. President, Senator Risa, and then it's his turn, Mr. President.
Just a quick manifestation, Mr.
The
President.
gentleman may proceed for his quick manifestation.
Because it has been referred repeatedly about what we agreed on in the caucus. Mr. President, we agreed to decide on this matter. And if the decision is to lay it on the table, that is a decision of the Senate in plenary. In other words, we didn't agree on deciding that we will decide on a motion to dismiss. We didn't agree that we would decide on holding it in abeyance. We said we will decide.
Your Honor, that's precisely what the Chair said. We will be
Thank
deciding on these pending motions at the proper time after debate. Senator Ontiveros is recognized for her interpellation and interjection if Senator Marcoleta so desires.
Yes, Mr. President.
Salamat po, Mr. President. In lieu of an interpellation of the good gentleman from Tarlac, I will be seconding a motion, Mr. President, preceded by a brief manifestation. Earlier, Mr. President, Senator Marcoleta said he refuses to speculate on reversal. But the good gentleman's own position is based on his own speculation that the SC will not reverse its decision. A tabling of the motion to dismiss, which is what I will second in a few minutes, Mr. President, a tabling of the motion to dismiss by the Senate today is not defiance of the Supreme Court. Wala pa nga po kasing final na decision. Kahit ang Korte Suprema po, iniintay pa ang comment ng VP. That is why I will be seconding the motion of the Minority Leader to table the motion to dismiss the impeachment complaint until the decision of the Supreme Court has attained finality. Tama po. We should exercise extraordinary prudence in this matter of transcendental importance. Still, I also wish to take this opportunity to express my thoughts at this crucial moment for our chamber. Mr. President, I agree and I continue to respect the Supreme Court. Hindi po magbabago iyan. But, Mr. President, hindi naman po ibig sabihin ng respeto ay pananahimik. Lalo na kapag inisip natin kung gaano kalaki ang nakataya dito. Magkaiba rin yung rumerespeto at yung bulag. Kaya naman, I will not be choosing silence, nor will I be turning a blind eye in the face of clear and unmistakable injustice. I am encouraged by the words of brave professors of the UP College of Law who in 2010 issued a sharp critique of a Supreme Court decision, Vinuya versus Executive Secretary, which said, the court cannot regain its credibility and maintain its moral authority without ensuring that its own conduct, whether collectively or through its members, is beyond reproach. So, in the context of the SC decision, Duterte versus House of Representatives, I believe we need to shed light on some concerns which former justices and constitutional framers themselves, some of whom are here this afternoon, Mr. President, have underscored. Una, the Supreme Court decision was based on critical factual errors. At binanggit na rin po ito ni Minority Leader. And this has since been pointed out by no less than retired Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio. For example, the decision said that the February 5 impeachment complaint was transmitted to the Senate without a plenary vote in the House. A simple check of the records, specifically House Journal number 36, shows that this is false. Walang haka-haka. Those official records are plain for anyone to see. Sabi tuloy ni retired Chief Justice Renato Espuno, na siyang chairman ng Philippine Constitution Association, the Supreme Court was faced with a famine of facts necessary to make a decision invulnerable to constitutional assaults. Pangalawa, actions already taken under a prior and valid interpretation should be recognized as legally effective. Yan naman ay mula kay retired Justice Adolf Ascuna. The House of Representatives was operating under the regime of the legal doctrines in Francisco and Gutierrez, which held that the initiation of impeachment proceedings begins from referral. Kung unconstitutional pala na sundin ang legal doctrines, in the words of Justice Ascuna, that is legally unfair. Paano nga naman unconstitutional kung sinunod lang nila ang patakaran ng mismong Korte Suprema? Dagdag pa po sa isang desisyon nitong 2020 lamang, Madreo versus Byron. Sabi ng Korte na kung may pagbabago sa doktrina at interpretasyon ng batas, dapat prospective ang aplikasyon nito. At ang pangatlo at huling punto, mistulang nadagdagan ang requirements sa proseso ng impeachment na hindi naman nakasaad sa ating saligang batas. These new limitations, Mr. President, are not found in our fundamental law. Wala yan sa konstitusyon at kontra yan sa accountability. One disturbing example, sabi ng desisyon, kailangan daw na isumite na ang bawat ebidensya laban sa opisyales sa pag-file pa lang ng complaint sa House. Dapat ba naka-attach na ang bawat bank slip, public record o testimonya ng witness na ihaharap kahit wala pa silang proteksyon ng Senate Impeachment Court? Ang tanong tuloy ng marami, realistic ba yan? Paano kung ang impeachment ay laban sa mataas na opisyal na kayang-kayang magtago ng ebidensya o manakot ng mga potential witness? Bakit humaba yata ang checklist ng proteksyon para lang sa impeachable officials? Samantalang ang taong bayan na nagtatanong, na naniningil ng pananagutan, sila pa ang pinahirapan. Sila pa ang nadagdagan ang requirements. Ayon sa Korte Suprema, an official facing impeachment does not stand to lose fundamental constitutional rights such as life, liberty, or property. Hindi buhay, kalayaan, o pag-aari ang inihahabla sa impeachment. Kung ang usapan naman ay due process, hindi ba't ang mismong impeachment trial na nga ang mismong venue para doon? Maririnig ang dalawang panig. May ebidensya, may magdedepensa. That is due process. So what are we afraid of? At dahil nandito rin po sa gallery ngayon, Mr. President, ang isa sa mga constitutional commissioners na si Christian Monsod, di lalo po akong confident na mag-take exception sa isang sinabi kanina ng good gentleman mula sa Taguig at Pateros na dapat mahirap ang proseso ng impeachment. Kontra po doon ang pananaw ng Constitutional Commission kung mababasa po natin ang records ng deliberations ng Commission, partikular sa panig ni Commissioner Regalado. Muli, patuloy nating nirerespeto ang Korte Suprema. Pero pwede mong respetuhin ang isang institusyon habang nagtatanong at pinag-uusapan ang kanyang desisyon. In Firestone Ceramics Inc. versus Court of Appeals, the court conceded that it is not infallible. Should any error of judgment be perceived, sabi nila, it does not blindly adhere to such error. In this jurisdiction, rectification of an error more than anything else is of paramount importance. In the 2010 letter that I mentioned earlier, the UP law professors said that the position of the Supreme Court as the final arbiter of all controversies requires competence and integrity completely above any and all reproach. A breach of these values, the professor said, does violence to the primordial function of the Supreme Court as the ultimate dispenser of justice. And the UP Law Dean who led that letter to the Supreme Court, walang iba po kundi ang nagsulat ng desisyon na ating pinag-uusapan. Dear Mr. President, dear colleagues, I believe this decision is of the highest public interest, whose consequences will echo through time and history. Maraming taon mula ngayon, pag-aaralan at hihimayin ito ng lahat. Mula sa mga estudyante, mga journalist, mga political analyst, mga academics, at higit sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan. One day, and this day will come, history will judge all of us based on our actions today, August 6, 2025. When history comes to remember, let's hope we stood where it mattered, that even in the face of doubt, we did what was right and just. With deep respect for the Supreme Court and all institutions of our country, Mr. President, I therefore second the motion to table the motion to dismiss the impeachment complaint until the decision of the Supreme Court has attained finality. Salamat po, Mr. President.
Mr. President, quick reaction.
Noted and entered into the records. Senator Marcoleta.
Mr. President, unang-una, yung sinabi ko pong speculative, sapagkat it was not based on my own speculation. It was based on my long practice as a litigation lawyer. Wala pa po akong nakitang isang unanimous decision. Ewan ko lamang po kung merong magbo-volunteer ngayon na abogado in the last 40 years na sinasabi ang isang unanimous decision na ang karakter niya ay sinabi na ab initio, void ab initio, unconstitutional, violative of due process. Maybe if we can speculate that all the members of the Supreme Court after the filing of the motion for reconsideration will resort to their worst, will resort to the worst angels of their nature. Maybe, baka ganun lang. What do we expect? We expect that 8 of them will reverse themselves altogether? Kung sakasakali naman po na in-archive natin or whatever word is applicable at sinabi, under miraculous circumstances, sinabi ng Supreme Court, we are all reversing ourselves. Di continue natin. Anong problema? Pero kagaya po na sinasabi ko kanina, Mr. President, ang pagkakaluto nga po hilaw eh. Ipinipilit po ngayong ipakain sa Senado ang isang bagay na hilaw. Paano? Sinabi po ba ng Supreme Court na wag na kayong mag-impeach? Hindi po. Binigyan po tayo ng guidelines. Alam po ba ninyo kung bakit binigyan na ng guidelines ng Supreme Court kung paano mag-impeach? Kasi po, Mr. President, if you recall, the Supreme Court issued a notice on July 8, 2025, requiring at least 11 information from the House of Representatives and the Senate. The Senate made a manifestation na wala po kaming maibibigay sapagkat lahat po niyan ay makukuha ninyo sa House of Representatives. Alam po ba ninyo na 4 sa hinihingi ng Supreme Court ay nandun po sa puso ng due process? Ano po yung hinihingi? Sinabi lamang po ng Supreme Court, pwede bang ibigay nyo sa amin kung lahat ng miyembro ng House of Representatives ay binigyan ninyo ng kopya at kailan? Pwede bang ibigay nyo sa amin ang timing kung kailan nyo ibinigay at binigyan, kung paano nyo sila binigyan ng pagkakataong mabasa yung impeachment complaint? Pwede nyo bang ibigay sa amin kung every article of impeachment ay nakalagay doon ang mga dokumento na nagpapatibay ng artikulo? Pwede nyo bang ibigay sa amin kung nagkaroon sila ng pagkakataon talaga na mabasa yung impeachment complaint? Alam po ba ninyo kung anong sagot ng Solicitor General in behalf of the House of Representatives? Ito po yung sagot nila. It is the position of the House that these matters pertain to its internal proceedings, which have always been regarded as beyond the jurisdiction and scrutiny of this honorable court. Sa Tagalog po, wala po kayong pakialam dito sa amin. Yung inihingi po ninyo, kami lang po yun. Para tinatanong lang naman po binigyan nyo ba ng pagkakataon sila na mabasa? Bakit? Mahirap po ba sagutin yun? Ano pa po sinabi? This is especially because the matters referred to, the preparation, circulation, and perusal of the impeachment complaint, as well as its attachment, are not governed by a specific constitutional provision or the House rules. So dahil po wala sa Constitution at wala rin po sa House rules, ano po yun? Wardi-wardi na lang. So ibig sabihin talaga, kaya po pala ang dami kong kasama doon, wala talaga silang kopya. Ako nga po hindi nabigyan Bakit hindi po kinakailangan bigyan lahat? Baka sakaling, malay po ninyo, baka pumirma ako, hindi ba? Ito yung tinatanong po ng Korte Suprema. Kaya lang po siya nakapagbigay ng additional guideline. Sapagkat isip-isipin nyo, sasabihin sa Korte, wala nang pong masamang tinapay ang Korte. Pwede po malaman namin kung talaga nagkaroon ng pagkakatong mabasa man niya lang, ma-appreciate ang bawat dokumento na nakasalig dyan sa impeachment na yan. Para sa ganun, ay boboto siya sang-ayon sa kanyang sariling kagustuhan. Matibay ang gusto ng Korte Suprema. Gusto niyang makita na lahat ay dumaan sa kaayusan. Hilaw nga po Mr. President. Kanina ko pa po pinaiintindi, hilaw. Ba't hindi po kayo magluto ng mas masarap na kanin? Para sa ganun po, hindi tayo mahirapan. Maghintay na lang po kayo ng 6 months. Pwede naman Ba't pinipilit po natin ng isang bagay na hilaw at pinipilit niyong ipakain sa atin? Mr. President. Sabi ko po kanina, Mr. President, I am ready to amend my motion. Kung kinakailangan po, that will be consistent on the respect accorded to the Supreme Court. Kaya lamang po, kailangan nating umaksyon. Sapagkat kagaya po ng nalalaman natin, naghihintay ang taong bayan na kailangan magkaroon po ng closure ito sapagkat kapag ito will be hanging on the balance, baka hindi po mabutihin ng ating mamamayan. Yun lang naman po ang pinakapunto rito, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Marcoleta.
Mr. President.
What is the pleasure of the Minority Floor Leader?
Thank you, Mr. President. Caution is the word simply being put forth by this representation, Mr. President. Because again, sabi nga, wala pa raw siyang nakita. The distinguished gentleman from Tarlac, with due respect, said wala pa siya nakita na unanimous decision ng Supreme Court na baliktad. Kung nagsasabi na hindi final eh. Ano ba naman ang masama na maghintay tayo na kung final na? For all you know, I might vote on the motion to dismiss. Hindi ba? If there is such a motion, because according to Senator Lacson, it does not exist in the Senate. It exists in the impeachment court. And what I am being told is that it should be the defense, the lawyers of the defense who should pose that motion to dismiss, not a judge. I agree with Senator Lacson. There is no such thing as a motion to dismiss in the Senate. In the impeachment court, yes. Thank you, Mr. President.
Hindi po ba inamid na natin, Mr.
By the way, just one last point. Why did the Supreme Court ask Sara to comment?